guys, so we're back, and it melted down into molten glass. So now what you do is, whenever you're making something that's a block, like if you wanted to make a block of iron, and let's say you had 9 ingots worth of iron melted down in here, and you wanted to make a block, you could just pour it into the casting basin. And this, once it hardens, give it a second, is going to make us clear glass. This stuff is amazing. Let's take a look at it. So it's completely clear. This is, in my opinion, this is one of the best. There might be one other glass from Ender.io that competes with it. I haven't really tested much yet with the Ender.io one. But, yeah, and here is the best part. Connected textures. Look at that. That is amazing. So, like, if you were to make an entire wall out of that stuff, only, like, the edges, like the very outer edges would show. So you guys get that. So, you know what? I'm going to show you guys a, sword. So let's get a, sword blade. Let's get a... I'm going to take some random stuff. Manilion. I will show you guys how to get Manilion in a later video. We will do a more advanced Tinker's Construct video. And I'm only going to show you my favorite sword. There's 3 different kinds. So, sure, an obsidian hand guard and a tool rod. And this will be the wrap-up of this episode, guys. So let's get a slime tool rod. Why not? So, we're going to make a long sword, which is this one. I love this sword, especially for early game, because it's super easy to use and get around with. So, first of all, it's a really good sword. I mean, depending on what you make it out of. And if you hold right click, it'll launch you like this. And if you hold right click and then jump while letting go, you can get launched pretty far away. So it's a really nice way to get around early game. So, that wraps up episode 2 of the Beginner's Guide series. Today we talked about Tinker's Construct and how to create tools. Certain different kinds of tools, not very many. And how to use the smeltery and other cool stuff. So join us next time for probably... Thermal expansion in Ender.io was my original plan, but that might change. It might be a different combo. I know we're going to talk about thermal expansion next time, I just don't know what we're going to do with it. Alright guys, so this is Ethan signing off of episode 2 of the Beginner's Guide series, and peace! Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of my Beginner's Guide to Modded Minecraft series. Alright, so last episode we talked about Tinker's Construct. This episode, which is episode 3, there's going to be 3A and 3B. This is episode 3A. So, this episode, we're going to be talking about thermal expansion, and I don't know which else, but one other, main processing mod. So, thermal expansion is a great place to get started, but there's 3 other mods that are also great places to get started, and I'm going to leave it up to you to choose which one you want to do after both parts of episode 3 are over. So, I'm going to cover 2 in this episode and 2 in part B. So, let's get started with thermal expansion. Now, first thing you're going to, you know what, I will be right back. Okay, guys, we're back, and let's really get started this time. So, how you get started with thermal expansion? Well, thermal expansion has its a power system known as redstone flux, or RF for short. So, okay, first thing, so one of the first things you're going to make, okay, so each one of these mods has their own wrench. The crescent hammer is thermal expansion's version of it. So you take iron and silver, which silver's an ore. I told you guys I was going to let you figure out world gen yourself. And silver's not too rare. I mean, it's not common or anything. But, you know, Invar Battle Wrench. What the heck is that? Okay, I might have to check that out in a bit. Oh, wow. Thermal expansion, you never cease to impress me. Okay, so, how are we going to start generating it? Well, I recommend starting with a couple of steam dynamos. So, copper gears are made, not that one. You could make it like that, but here's how I recommend making it. The thermal expansion version. So 4 copper and an iron. And you need a redstone transmission coil, which takes 2 redstone and a silver. So I'm just going to do 2 of these for now. And each one will generate 40 RF a tick. That's important to note. So 0 RF a tick, maximum 40. And they have this redstone control, which I'll get into in a minute. But the next thing you're going to need is some kind of way to get some infinite water. I'm going to stick with thermal expansion's way of doing it, which is the aqueous accumulator. Where are you, aqueous accumulator? Right there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do everything the thermal expansion way that I can, because there's other mods that allow stuff. Alright, so stick this here in the middle, and on either side of it, you're going to want water. And this will act like an infinite water source and generate water. Now what you're going to do is get some fluiducts. But fluiducts are hard to make because you need hardened glass and you need power to make that. So we can make some opaque fluiducts, which take some lead and some copper. Let's just get a couple of these. And orange is an output side, by the way. I'll go over this in a minute. But orange means output, blue means input. And when fluiducts already have fluid in them, they won't connect to empty ones or ones with other fluids. So I don't know if that made sense, but if they're not connecting, you just hit it with a crescent hammer. And now these are filling up with water. Fantastic. Now use any kind of fuel you could use in a furnace, so like coal. So I'm going to throw some coal in each, and as you see, they're starting to gain steam. They will use that steam, once this steam tank is, once these turn on, they'll generate their internal buffer of RF. Now how do we transfer this power? So let's get, we need leadstone, well we need energy conduits, but the only option available to us for now is leadstone energy conduits. There's 2 tiers of them. So take glass, I know this is all weird, but just take glass, and lead and redstone, and this will get you these. Now, they can only transfer 80 RF a tick. That's going to be important later down the road. And once you have 2 down there, you can use your crescent hammer to rotate these to face that. So now let's run this over here. Now what do we want to do about storing this power? Well, maybe we can make a leadstone energy cell. There's 4 tiers of energy cell, but leadstone is the only one we can make right now. And this is how you make the frame. Glass, some lead, redstone block, and then you combine it with 3 copper and a conductance coil, which takes electrum. An electrum you make with electrum blend, and that you just take a gold and silver dust for. Now to get the dust, you're going to need a machine. You know what, I'm going to hold off on the energy cell then for now. So what you're going to do is you're going to make a pulverizer. And cool. You're probably also going to want some other machines. And if you mess up with your conduits like that, shift right click to remove them. Alright, so we are going to put down a, let's just search thermal expansion. So we need a redstone furnace. We don't need a sawmill, but I'll show you what it does. Inductions, whoa, we're not, you know what, you guys can, you know what, I'm just going to do this for now. We'll get into more advanced stuff in the future. So, and I'm going to leave an empty space here for a chest. Sorry about the caps, guys, and yeah. So what we do is in this, so you should see, hopefully these, yeah, the internal buffer of RF has built up. So what we're going to do in here, the configuration tab, we're going to just shift left click on the center and that'll clear the configuration. So let's say we're going to set the top to blue. Let's say we want a hopper there or something. Blue is an input, and you can see it corresponds with the slot here. Then on this side, we're going to have red input, output. Okay, let me talk about this for a second. There's regular output and a special output. So red will just do the regular output. Yellow will do just the special output, while orange will do both. So I'm going to set that to orange. So what this will do is it'll input from the top, and it will force everything to this side. And if this is blue right here, which it is, it'll go into the powered furnace, or the redstone furnace. And I'll set this to blue in case we want a hopper here too. And then this will push everything it gets into the chest. And we can set this over here to possibly have a hopper on top. You know what, let's just say you have a hopper on top. And you'll output to the chest also. How cool is that? So let's say we want to double our ores without using the smeltery. Make it a little more, less, you know, having to sit there clicking stuff. So let's get some iron ore. You take the iron ore and you throw it in the pulverizer. Now what happens is this will turn the iron ore, it won't show up in here, but it'll turn it into 2 pulverized iron. And you can use, this is how you make dusts. So you don't smelt them. Like, I mean, once you smelt them, they turn to ingots. So you've effectively doubled your ores. But let's say we want to get this energy cell now. So, I'm going to remove this conduit. Like, we know how to make dust now. So, leadstone. So you guys can make electrum now. It takes gold and silver. So we have a leadstone energy cell. And boom. So now that will store our RF power. And now you can change how much RF and tick is allowed to be imported and exported. And on the configuration here, let me see, I think this, where's the orange side right now? Okay, so let me clear this. So that means, yellow means nothing will connect. Okay, so you're the top. Okay, so that's that side. So we're going to have this side set to blue. Blue means input. This side will be set to orange. Orange means output. Now, if the side is yellow, or if you click on the conduit with a crescent hammer, it'll disconnect or reconnect. Cool. So now this is doing everything we need it to. Hopefully. Yeah. Okay, these machines are regaining power. And the more power they have in their internal buffer, the faster they'll run. And I want to show you the sawmill too. Oh, whatever. Basically what you do is you know what, yeah, I'll just show it then. Okay. So, throw it in, throw wood in there, wood logs, and it gives you 6 planks per log and a sawdust. Once you can do some fancy stuff with the sawdust later, but yeah. So that is the basics of getting started with thermal expansion. Again, we will do a more advanced video later, but I gotta cover Ender.io. I've decided that's the one I'm doing. Gotta cover Ender.io in this spotlight as well. Or not spotlight, I'm not doing a mod spotlight. In this episode as well. So let me get a little bit prepared for Ender.io, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, we're back. And Ender.io can use thermal expansion power, but I think it's kind of cool making a ton of different power systems. I mean, it's cool at one point to merge them, but I think it's nice at first to have a couple kinds. So, we're going to go with the classic Buildcraft way of generating power. Ender.io adds the Stirling generator, which is basically, you know what, let's just do this then. This is basically a Stirling engine if you know anything about Buildcraft. So we're going to take the Stirling generator right here. And we're going to get some pipes. So, here we go. We got kinesis pipes. That's the kind we need. So a good one to go with at this point is likely at this point you haven't gone to the nether yet. And by the way, remember, this, like, honestly, you'd be doing this or thermal expansion at this point in the game, not both at the same time. You'd want to focus on other stuff. That's why, I mean, like, it's just options that I'm showing you guys. So let's say we can go with smooth stone. Kinesis. Whatever. I'll be right back. Alright guys, we're back. Sorry about that. I don't know how to spell, apparently. So, the kind we're going to want to use. So, wooden, you need wooden. Wooden pulls out of anything. Wooden is always extraction. So, you combine a wooden transport pipe with a piece of redstone. To get a wooden transport pipe, 2 wood planks, and a glass. That gets you 8 of them. So, we're going to connect that out the back. And you could use wooden, honestly, to transport. Wooden carries 32. Stone, let's see. Smooth stone carries 16. Oh, so wooden's actually better. But wooden can extract from things, so I'm just going to go with stone here. And this is smooth stone. You could also go with cobblestone, but that only carries 8 MJ a tick. I'm probably confusing a bunch of you right now, but... So, here we go. We probably don't need this pipe here. We're going to get a sag mill. I always do that. Crafted like so. 3 flint, a machine chassis, which is crafted as such, and a basic capacitor. And that's copper ingot right there. So we're going to... I already got one. Okay, we're going to plop down our sag mill. And I forgot to mention, this needs any fuel you can burn in a furnace, this Stirling generator. I think it might actually be staying at noon, but I don't know. So, yeah, this is filling up. And you see... I don't know. I don't know if you actually need wooden here on this, because this might automatically output power. No, you're not even connecting. So, yeah, you definitely need a wooden pipe there. But eventually, you can get Ender IO's conduits, which are much better. Which I teased in episode 1. Episode 1. Okay, so what you do in here, this is basically the same thing as your pulverizer, so I'm not going to show it off again. And you're going to want to get an alloy smelter right there. So, no. When you press R, it sorts your inventory, by the way. So, yeah. Alloy smelter comes from stone bricks, a furnace, a machine chassis, and a basic capacitor. So, our alloy smelter is going to be your furnace in this mod. And I don't think there is an auto eject feature on this. So, it can't auto eject. You're going to have to move it over manually. As far as I know. And you can use thermal expansion's wrench on this. Let me test this out really quick. Yeah, you can't do that. So there's no auto eject feature on Ender IO, sadly. But let's get some ore. Gold this time, sure. So we can process that up really quick. And nicely. And there's redstone mode. I will be talking more about redstone mode in other videos down the road. But yeah. So this is... I'm thinking you guys like this stuff probably. Like, I don't know. Yeah, but so next episode will be part B of episode 3. Yeah. And I will go over IC2 and mechanism. And that episode might be quicker, because I took a long time on thermal expansion. Because I had to explain how everything works. But, I mean, they're all... Sorry, I'm coughing a lot. They're all the same in essence. So this gives you gold powder, 2 per ore. And you throw it in here, and it'll actually do 3 at a time. And this becomes very important later down the road, this alloy smelter for creating things in Ender IO. So you can have it in modes all smelting, alloys only, which means it won't smelt regular stuff, or furnace only, which means it'll only smelt regular stuff. So that's what I'm going to leave it on. But yeah. So thanks for joining us this episode. Please like, comment, subscribe, and tell us how we can improve our videos. So for now, signing off on episode 2A, or 3A, sorry, of the Beginner's Guide to Modded Minecraft series. We'll see you next time for IC2 and Mechanism. Peace! Alright guys, that's actually not the end of the episode, and I apologize for saying that it was. It looks like these pipes aren't working here. This is only... this thing's only working because it's, like, this thing's stuck. This one's only working because it's directly next to the thing. And copper is a special output for this. So, let's try this again. Are you gonna work? No. So, yeah. I'm just gonna show you the Buildcraft way of doing this really quick. So we need a Stirling engine. We're gonna do the engine this time. and it also requires coal. Throw it in there, and you got to give this one a redstone signal. Okay, so that'll generate power for this machine, and this should be able to run again. Alright guys, so this is the end of the episode now. Peace!